Okay, so first week back after break. This was a fun week of practice. Our guys like being together, they like working, and they worked really hard this week. So we take a preparation with us going to Arizona that we know that we did some good stuff here. So we're planning on playing well. We know we have to. We know we're against a really dangerous football team. These guys are explosive and creative with what they do, and we're going to have to be on our stuff and have to be ready to adjust in this game quite a bit. Halftime will be a big deal, I think, this week. So looking forward to it.
Bob?
Yeah, Pete, Jamal Adams has declared out. Just curious what his situation is going forward, if you're still hoping he can make it back next week.
He's really close. He's really close. We want to make sure and get it right. And the consensus is it's better to wait till next week. And I anticipate that he'll be practicing next week. We couldn't get him out there. We tried. I mean, we hoped to and we wanted to, but we couldn't get him out. So we're going to leave him home and take care of one more good weekend of rehab and prep and try to break him out next week.
Ben?
Hey, Pete, what have you seen out of Stephon Sullivan as a defensive end in practice, and do you anticipate him being able to help you guys sooner rather than later as a pass rusher?
It's been a good experiment for us and for him. He shows the versatility that he's in the running for this thing. With the tight end situation right now, we don't need him yet there, and so we've been patient with this. Next week will be an important week for him. He had a good day in pads this week, and I'm not sure if it's next week or not, but next week we're looking at him really seriously to see where he fits, see if he has a chance to even have a chance to play there. We know he can play tight end. We have no problem with that. We love him there.
Thank you.
Corbin?
Hey, Pete, how did Jordan Brooks look out there? I see he wasn't on the last injury report, and does that mean that he's back in the lineup, or is Cody Barton still starting this
Well, you got to wait and see on that one, but he had a great week. He really did have a great week. He looked full speed. We ramped him up as the week went on, got more reps as the week as he could handle the work, and so he's definitely going to play in this football game. I expect that he'll play considerably.
Tim?
Pete, do you have a legit knee? Do you have to be taken care of? How would you list yourself on the injury report for this week?
A legit? I mean, you think I'm faking it? No.
No.
What are you talking about? I had to have a little. I had to wait for a scope opportunity on the bye week, and my rehab was going really well. And then I went. If you can imagine this, I overdid it a little bit too much, and. Not that I wasn't warned from everybody that knows me and that was here that I'm probably going to do that, and so I guess I wanted them to feel good about them calling the shots, and they were all right, and I went too far too fast, and so I took a little step back. So just a little chink in my armor on the rehab process. So I'll be fine. I'll be there, no problems.
Do you have to take any special considerations though on Sunday about just being too close to the field or anything like that?
No, I'll be all right. I'll be fine.
Michael Sean?
Pete, I know you love guys who are multi-sport athletes in high school and stuff like that. Were you one?
Yeah, I played 3 sports. I played baseball, basketball, and football. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. I did that my whole, all the way through my playing years. I was always playing everything.
What positions in each one?
I played center field in baseball. I played everything in football, and was a hack guard in hoops. We had really good hoops teams. I was a hammer.
All right, thanks.
You
Curtis?
guys have never asked that before. That's really, it's nice thought. Just dig back into my Redwood Giant days.
Yeah, Pete, you said earlier that you wanted to see Smacks in pads this week. How did he jump out with that, and is he possibly a factor for you this weekend?
He's making progress. We're on a schedule to see. We're just going to go 1 week at a time. We're going to leave him home this week to continue to work and do his all the work he's doing, rehab and conditioning stuff. He's still on the road back.
Greg?
I was going to ask if you had an out-of-state license for that golf cart, but I guess you answered that.
I'm getting some rims, though. I am getting some rims for next week if I need it.
So you won't be in the box. You'll be on the sideline.
Right.
Okay. With Brooks, is this a game? Normally you'd think, well, his speed, this would be a game with Murray coming at him with his speed, but is Is that too soon to ask of the rookie in that type of a role?
No, he's ready to play. He's ready to play. He had a fantastic week. I'm really excited about him coming back and helping our defense out. He has, like you're saying, he's really fast. He's got great instincts. He's tough hitter. He had a couple great hits during this week in practice, just working to get himself back in, and so he's ready to go.
Joe?
Pete, how about Phil Dorsett? Do you think he's going to play for you on Sunday?
Phil was not able to get on the practice field this week, so he's going to have a hard time doing that.
Brady?
Hey, Pete, just one more follow-up on Damon Harrison. You said rehab. Is he recovering from an injury, or are you just talking about getting in football shape?
Did I mention rehab? I don't know if that. He's not he's not working with the trainers and anything in particular, but he's just working to get back in shape and make sure that his conditioning is right and all of that, as good as we can make it. He's working on his weight and making sure that he's like I said before, svelte as he can be, and so he's still in. It's the process. He's going through a process getting right.
And with Rasheem Green, what's his status?
He's in great shape. He's ready to come back. I'm not sure exactly. I think he has a chance to practice here soon, and he'll be back as soon as we can get him out.
Thank you.
Tim Booth with a follow-up.
Thank you, Dave. Pete, the league with the growing
legit?
number.
Is it legit?
Is it legit? Yeah, I don't know. With the growing number of COVID cases, it seems that are popping up, nationwide, and a few more in the NFL. The league's talked about maybe moving more to additional Zoom meetings or having less in-person meetings. Have you guys taken any steps like that to go a little bit more virtual than you were maybe 3-4 weeks ago?
If we had to max out virtually, we're ready to do that. Matter of fact, on Mondays, we're not bringing the guys together on Mondays. We've done that throughout the first 5 weeks, meaning that instead of having a team meeting where we all show up in person in space, our guys stay out of here. They come in and then get back out. So we're ready to do. We're really well equipped to do whatever is necessary to do it, and we have taken precautions and stuff. We are on full alert. We're on full alert. The league helps in the reminders and all, but if they don't remind us, we're trying to think of it as well. Whatever we can come up with to do a good job. I find myself more concerned about the guys that enter the program, guys that haven't been with us through the long haul of all of the preparation and all of the conversations and all of the kind of the growing together with how we're committed to this. A guy comes in, he's here first week, and I can't catch him up on all that then. So I'm concerned about those guys as we go through it. So we're on full alert. I mean, I can't tell you, you're right about the numbers nationally are going up, or states trying to hold on to it. We're not quite able to get the numbers going down. So it's still a very dangerous time. So we're trying to take every precaution.
Curtis?
Yeah, Pete, how's Mikey Potty doing? Is this back thing kind of worrisome for you, or how is he coming along?
Yeah, he struggled this week some. He was uncomfortable a couple days, so we have to see how he is by the weekend and all that, and for next week, and we got to get Mike so he's healed and then he's returned fully, because it has nagged him a little bit. So I'm a little concerned about that.
Bob?
Yes, since we last talked to you, they made this a primetime game. Just curious if that changed anything and then your preparation for how it goes, the moving of the game to the primetime?
We're going to play a little bit later. So we'll have a little bit more time in the desert for those. But it's not changing us. It's always fun to play in primetime, so we got no problem with that. We'll take full advantage of it. Changes us a little bit next week when we come back to travel the night of. Screws us up a little bit, but we'll take care of that for next week. But looking forward to it. We're fortunate to get the opportunity, and the league chose us to do it, so we'll try to make the most of it.
Then how'd Michael Kendricks look this week?
Mike's making a good run at it. He needs it. It's going to take him a little bit. Mike wanted to think that he could just come jumping right back in and be full flow, full flight, and all that. And I did talk to him today on the field, and he needs the days. He needs the days to work his way back in. He's coming off his knee, and he did a fantastic job of rehabbing, but you still got to get your legs underneath you and get a feel for it. So we ramped him up with more plays each day, and next week will be a really big week for him. But like I don't know if you guys realize that when everybody travels with us, for the most part, just about 100% of all the practice squad guys come with us in case there's a situation where we may need them. So Mike is he's an emergency status for us moving forward, like all the guys are really.
Art.
Pete, the COVID seems to be a much bigger problem in the college campuses than it is in the NFL, and obviously the logistics are obvious with the campus situation and so on. Have you talked to any of the college coaches? Because it seems like they're having a real hard time accepting the reality as it is compared to most NFL coaches, and certainly the Pac-12 coaches are in alignment.
Yeah, they got started early, with kids coming to campus in the summertime, and so there were some programs that I was checking in with to kind of keep track because they were way ahead of us, and to try to gauge how it was going and what was normal, what to expect, and all of that. So yeah, that's something that we have done, and personally, it really helped me have I think a clearer sense months before we, not months, but a month or so before we got going at least, and there for whatever reason, it seems like the professional sports are doing a really good job of making sense to the guys. And the women's sports too. Everybody's really serious about trying to take care of business, and so we're doing it. On the college scene, it's just, if you can imagine the dormitories and the apartments and traveling here and there and running, the campus thing has just got to be harder, and it's just more loosely controlled, I would think, and because everybody's in such a small area, so that's one of the number one issues, and so it's been hard. It's been really hard on them, and but we do know that you can do this. That's what we've learned. We've learned you can bubble it, and we talked about this being a bubble, even though we weren't in the same situation as the NBA. We did it, and it doesn't have to be a physical bubble. It's more of a virtual thought, and how are you going to conduct your life and the decisions that you make and the choices that you make? You can protect us, and so for right now, it's hard on the colleges, and I don't know. And just imagining, as you suggested, it's pretty random, and there's a lot going on, and the variables are a lot higher, and that's why their numbers are as obvious as they are.
Joe?
For clarification on Philip, did he have a setback, or is he close, or is he just kind of the same process?
No, he's in a situation where he's got to make sure that he's back. This has nagged him a little bit early through camp and all of that, and he's felt this issue before in his foot, and so we're just trying to put a lot of space between when he's feeling really well and running full speed and making sure that he's back, because if we come back too early, he might miss the rest of the season. So it's just, we're going to be conservative. There's a lot of games to play and a lot of time coming up, and we'd love to have him. So we're just being, maybe it sounds like it, but we're being conservative to a certain extent because of the nature of this injury.
Is it fair to say he's maybe not close?
No, he's running now. He is flying. So it's just whether or not he can withstand it and keep coming back and not have any kind of flare-ups at all. So we're just trying to put space between that.
Greg?
Pete, you've mentioned a couple times how you wish the country had the self-discipline and maybe we wouldn't be in the same spot we are COVID-wise. How much, though, do you think it's been to the NFL's benefit in particular, the money and the resources that you and the team and the league has to throw at this, and testing and all those things that maybe the society only wishes it could have?
No, there's no question. Because of our ability to have, and it took us a long time to get to everyday testing, and even now we're game day testing, which I have been in favor of since way back, so that that's to make sure that our mentality is right, and then we're very consistent. There's not any lag times, and that 3 tested a week would have been a nightmare, I think. But we also are structured for tracing too. We're tracing and tracking everything. So yeah, we do have the benefits of that. I don't know that in society you would ever get to that level, although we could have. I think there are countries that are available to test you whenever you need to. We're not. We've talked about that, but that has not happened, and that's a big deal. But it's the tracing and tracking that's so crucial, and we're wearing little devices, and our guys are all, we're scheduled in every day. We got a schedule of how many contacts you had and how the numbers of contacts with different individuals and on and on, so that when the time comes, we will go into frickin' high gear to solve our problems. The point is, though, I think it shows an extreme, Greg, that what we're capable of doing, and then somewhere in between there's a whole lot better setup than what we have. And what I think I probably said it, I bet I said it 5 times to you guys, this takes right from the very top. It has to be strict and tough and demanding, and you can't allow for the human nature issues about it's a little bit hard and it's not the way we want it, and we like to do this, we like to do that. That ain't going to cut it. This is not what we're dealing with. And you have to have really firm, strict leadership, and the league has done a great job, right to the commissioner and on down. We have been on this thing the whole time, and they pass it on to us, and we have to get it done too. And there's no question that that's the best way to go about this. Now, you're right about when you have all of the faculties available and everything that you need, obviously you can do what we're doing. We've gone for 3 months now or whatever it is and haven't had a positive test. So, see if we can keep it rolling.
Do you wear those beeper tracers on the road or away from the facility?
We do in the hotel, and we do on the plane too. Yeah.
Okay.
And we wear masks everywhere. We wear them all the time, everywhere, as much as we can. We try to be 100% at practice when we don't have the helmets on, and walkthroughs and all that kind of stuff. We're trying to be as strict as we can.
As you know it, do you think you've been the strictest and the best adhering team that you've heard anecdotally around the league?
No, I don't know that. I don't. I wouldn't even know how to compare it to anybody else because I'm not in contact with anybody. But this is hard to be successful at, and we're fortunate that we're there. I think we're very fortunate. And like I said, I'm really concerned about the new guys coming into the program because I can't get their mentality, likened to what it takes to do this. So we're working at it, but I don't know what the other guys are doing.
Thank you.
Last question, Masvida.
Hey, Pete. Yeah, just going back on the messaging, the virtual bubble to the players. Is there extra emphasis to you talked about the new guys, but let's say the single guys, the people that don't have a family. Do you have to deliver that message anymore or not?
We're trying to apply wherever we need to. When you see people that have habits of somewhat denial, where they go, it's not that big a deal. That triggers. We've trained ourselves that triggers the alert that okay, that guy might be making other decisions somewhere else too. And so we're trying to stay ahead of it as best we can. Just because a guy's single doesn't mean he's going to be out, running the streets and all that. And just because you have a family doesn't mean that you have, you act together either. Everybody's individual about this. So we have to work with everybody as best we can and try to understand the individual and then try to be vigilant about doing it. And we never feel like we're doing enough. We just don't. And it's a constant. So we've been on this thing for whenever this thing started back in February or March. We started planning out to hey, here it comes. We've been on this subject forever, it seems, and we still feel like there's more room to get better.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, see ya.